G'day, and welcome to ComicsMATE, your mates in comics from the land down under. I'm Dean James, and today I'm going to be covering the absolute disaster that has been Disney Marvel's new Fantastic Four movie, and all of the problems surrounding its star, Pedro Pascal. I made a video about this absolute clown way back when his casting was first announced, and since then I've been proven right and more about all of my hesitation towards him being cast as Mr. Fantastic. This movie is going to bomb, hard, and when it does, they'll have nobody but themselves and the creepy astroturfed fudge packer that is Pedro Pascal to blame. So with that all said, please like this video to help push it out into the algorithm and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Now let's jump right into it. From Comic Book Movie, the Fantastic Four star Pedro Pascal reveals Marvel told him to dial back one key aspect of his performance. The Fantastic Four First Step star Pedro Pascal has revealed the one element of his performance as Mr. Fantastic that he was asked to pull back on during production. Too bad it wasn't any of his blatant faggotry. Seriously, this guy is completely insufferable. Despite some oddly persistent complaints about Pedro Pascal's facial hair, most fans are fully on board with the Last of Us star playing the Fantastic Four First Steps Reed Richards. That's just a blatant lie. Out of all the complaints for Disney's new Fantastic Four, of which there are many, Pedro Pascal being cast as Mr. Fantastic has been the most prevalent. Even normies are getting sick of this propped up socialist prince, which, in case you didn't know, is literally what he is. The mainstream media will tell you that he's an immigrant whose family sought asylum in the US, but they'll never tell you why he had to flee his home country in the first place. It's because his father was a socialist dictator who was successfully thrown out after a rebellion against his family. Come to think of it, that must be why Hollywood weirdos love this guy so much. I don't even know why I go to comicbookmovie.com anymore. It's just a shill site these days, with every article gobbling the knobs of the Hollywood elite, most of which are written by this asshole Josh Wilding. Wilding? Who cares, this dude's a cuck. The actor's Hollywood hot streak continues, and before the reboot is even released, Pascal has already been joined by the rest of the MCU's first family on the set of Avengers Doomsday, and presumably Avengers Secret Wars when it begins production. With that, he looks set to become a huge part of this franchise. Yay! The guy nobody is excited to see is already being forced into the lead role of another movie from a dead franchise nobody watches anymore. During a career retrospective with Vanity Fair, Pascal talked about his approach to Mr. Fantastic and revealed the one aspect of his performance he was asked to tone down during shooting. That whole Vanity Fair thing was just really weird. It's where I got this footage that you're seeing right now. The theatre of that is something to step into. I don't know if I do it well. The ever-humble star of The Mandalorian shared. The ever-humble? Shut up, Josh. They had to keep on pulling me back from a very mid-Atlantic early 60s talk. They had a dialect coach who was going to help us into that kind of dialect. I took to it so well they had to pull me aside. They were like, talk more like yourself. I had a hard time doing that because I was so into the era, which for me was something to step into, as it's different from what we've seen before, Pascal noted. What they've created is something we haven't seen. It's interesting that Marvel Studios had Pascal pull back on the mid-Atlantic 60s inspired accent. However, it also makes sense that these characters will be sharing the screen with Earth-616 present-day Avengers in a little over a year from now. Now, I don't know if Josh forgot or what, but there are no Avengers right now. The main Avengers are all retired or dead, and all the MCU has left are the rejected dregs of their DEI-influenced failures of Phases 4 and 5. But if that wasn't enough to get you excited about these upcoming movies, Pedro Pascal has an idea to get us all hyped. It's gender politics and trans rights. No, really. From that Park Place, Pedro Pascal pushes gender activism at Marvel's Fantastic Four premiere in Berlin. Oh, I'm not done. Pedro Pascal has once again used a major Hollywood platform to promote gender-related political activism. This time at the Berlin premiere of Fantastic Four First Steps, Marvel Studios' next high-stake attempt to revive a struggling franchise. Speaking from the red carpet in Berlin, Pascal told reporters, "It's important to protect people, especially those simply asking for the right to exist in bodies that belong to them and in the world that they never asked to be brought into."
It's important to, protect people and human beings, especially those that are simply asking for the right to exist in the bodies that belong to them and in the world that they never asked to be brought into. And it's a very, very small, vulnerable, inspiring, courageous, and brave community that fills me with a lot of inspiration. And so therefore I think that it's very important to protect that in humanity. They would do that for us.
Oh, that's great, Pedro. I just have one question. What the fuck does that have to do with the Fantastic Four? That statement, although framed broadly, clearly references individuals who identify as a different gender than their biological sex. A cause Pascal has championed consistently since 2021, when his brother Lucas publicly transitioned to female and now goes by the name Lux Pascal. I just want to point out that you can't transition to female because female is a biological sex, but whatever. As pointed out by Breitbart, Pascal's comments mark the second time in just a few weeks that he has used a high-profile Marvel event to advance his views on gender identity. At the UK premiere of Thunderbolts, he wore a Protect the Dolls t-shirt, dolls being common slang for male to female gender transitions. While Pascal is certainly entitled to his views and enjoys the freedom to express them, his decision to make politically charged statements at the premiere of a film like Fantastic Four, a tentpole Marvel release for general audiences, is bound to raise controversy. Not only does it blur the line between entertainment and activism, but it potentially links Disney multi-million-dollar franchises to one side of an ongoing cultural debate. And this isn't an isolated incident. In April, Pascal made headlines for calling Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling a heinous loser over her public advocacy for women's rights in single-sex spaces. Just last month, he escalated his rhetoric again, saying Rowling was a bully who makes him fucking sick, while appearing to suggest that any criticism of gender ideology is inherently bigoted. You know what makes me sick? Mentally ill men forcing themselves into women-only spaces. Men trying to pass themselves off as women because they suffer from autogynephilia and need to be validated in the eyes of the public, most of whom are complete strangers to these freaks. We have historically separated the sexes for a litany of very important reasons, all of which are more important than some male pervert's feelings. Even fans of Pascal's own show, The Last of Us, haven't escaped his ire. After some expressed discomfort with the show's explicit identity-driven themes and depictions, Pascal accused critics of terrorizing the very people his advocacy supports. Whether Pedro Pascal helps or hurts the Fantastic Four remains to be seen, but Disney's recent history suggests this kind of polarizing commentary can alienate segments of the audience. With the Marvels, Thunderbolts, Captain America Brave New World, and many others underperforming at the box office, and shows like Ironheart generating little buzz, the studio can hardly afford further controversy. This dude and all actors honestly just need to shut up and dance for us like the monkeys that they are. He's already one of my four horsemen of the I'm not watching that, but every time he opens his mouth in an interview of any kind, he just makes everything worse. I'm sick of seeing him cast as every male character in everything from Wonder Woman to The Last of Us, and I know I'm not alone. Add on top of that everything else that's gone wrong with Disney's new Fantastic Four movie, like the gender-swapped Silver Surfer. But Dean, the female Silver Surfer is from the comics. Nice try, Strawman, I just made up. She was in an alternate universe series 40 years ago that lasted only a few issues, and she died in the 4th panel that she appeared in. Everyone, and I mean everyone, knows who the Silver Surfer is, and it's not this broad. Or the fact that Johnny Storm is apparently problematic according to the actors and the director, to the fact that Sue Storm is now the leader of the group. Or the ever-persistent rumor that Reed and Ben used to be gay lovers, and that Ben never really got over it, which is why he grows a depression beard in the movie. Yes, really. Gives me no doubt we are going to have a massive bomb on our hands. Either way, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you sitting through my ranting, but what do you think? Am I being too harsh? Are you sick of Pedro Pascal as much as I am? Or are you a bot that claims to like him? Who are your four horsemen of I'm not watching that? And are you still excited about the Fantastic Four despite all of this crap? Will you be seeing it in theaters? Or do you hate me and think I'm a bigot? Let me know down in the comments. I want to hear all of your thoughts, and I'll be reading all of them. Regardless of what category you fall into, I'm Dean James, your mate in comics from the land down under, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.